Good evening, everyone. The U.S. is reportedly working on a new plan to get grain exports out of Ukraine following Russia's attack on a major port. Ukraine is known as the breadbasket of Europe, with its ability to supply grain to portions of the continent. We asked what this might mean for our own supply here. Will we have to ship wheat to Europe, dwindling our stock? And if this continues, could we see prices rise here? Christian Garzone joins us now with some answers to those questions. Christian.
Well, Teresa, the missile strikes come just days after the two countries agreed to allow the harvest to leave. About 20 million tons of grain are currently caught up in the port city of Odessa right now. If these holdups become the norm, expect prices to rise here at home in the next few months. Stephen Carnevale teaches supply chain management at RIT. He says in Ukraine, the grain harvest is still going to continue, but if the current grain in the silos can't leave, it will go to waste.
You know, there's more of a humanitarian impact than anything.
Before Russia invaded, Ukraine exported about 6 million tons of grain per month across the globe. Now that number has fallen to about 1 million tons, causing concerns. Carnevale says that could lead to cost hikes.
I think you'll probably see price increases first in order to buffer against inevitable shortages that could happen down the road.
And the end products that use grain, like bread, those companies might raise prices even more to ready themselves for those increases.
We basically grow feed corn, winter wheat, oats, and soybeans.
Mark Green with Hopkins Farms in Pittsford says U.S. farms, in theory, could increase production to offset the negative supply from Ukraine, but it's not that easy.
We could plant a few more acres, possibly, but we don't harvest it until July of next year.
Carnevale says anytime there is a constriction of global supply and the demand remains, the price goes up. And in an interdependent international marketplace, as we've seen, the discussion is about far more than agriculture right now.
Bread, grains, fuel, rubber, things of that nature, building products potentially.
And that plan B to get grain out of Ukraine involves railways and roadways. We'll have to wait and see what happens and if this trend of blocking exports continues by Russia. Live in Rochester, Christian Garzone, News 8. Teresa, right back to you.
Thank you, Christian. In addition to countries in Europe, other places such as Somalia and Lebanon really rely heavily on Ukrainian wheat. Ukraine also exports about 40% of the world's supply of sunflower oil.